of the NFC East podcast. I am your host, Sean Gnitzcavich, with my co-host, Jeremy Goode. And Jeremy Goode, what is good?
Well, it's just so weird not being, Super Bowl champions. I say this selfishly. When you win the Super Bowl, it feels like the world it revolves around you. And then when that's not the case, it hits hard in the worst way. Sad. Season's over for the Eagles. Changes need to be made, of course, in a lot of directions. But a lot of good games this weekend, though, Sean. I will say the good is the competition and the comebacks at the end of games, strong offenses throughout. So
Strong
yeah,
defenses throughout, too, for the most part. I mean,
for sure.
A lot of defensive battles. There's been some good low-scoring playoff games that have usually it's like where's the offense, but the defense have been so dominant and just like game wrecking that it's fun to watch good defense,
And it's fun because the offense is like enough too. Like it's not like the reason why it's good defense is because of bad offense. It's more because good defense. So yeah, it was a great week. The NFL's happy, I'll say so.
Well, Sorry, you did say bad offense. I think there was one team that might have demonstrated some poor offense, and we don't have to bury the lead. But obviously, the Eagles have been eliminated from the playoffs, which is much to my chagrin. Which I don't think I've ever used that word, but I feel like it was fitting there. Much not to Jeremy's chagrin as an Eagles fan in pain, like most of Philadelphia, that live and die by the birds, and the birds have been killed off. Batula. We're going to talk all about that nice Eagles 49ers game. We'll also talk a little the head coach search that's been going on with all these teams. David Blau has been hired by the Commanders. John Harbaugh. Last time we spoke, when we were talking, I was like, well, John Harbaugh is not going to be fired because he wasn't fired the day. It was like 2 days after Black Monday.
Right.
And then while I'm editing it, I get the news. Sweet, don't worry. I put a little note in there as I said, well, John Harbaugh's not getting fired. Well, he did get fired, and he looks like he might be going to the New York Football Giants. We'll talk about that, but let's not bury the lead, as you always like to say, Jeremy. Let's get right down to the thick of it. The Philadelphia Eagles got wrecked at the link. I wouldn't say wrecked, but it didn't look good. It was still a one-score game.
Wreck could be if you extended to a loss, just the fact that they lost to this 49ers team at home. Wrecked it works for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking about a 49ers team that is like, most of them are gone, dead and gone, or have torn Achilles and drinking a whole bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
While their team still manages to beat the favorites at home. So yeah, 49ers 23, Philadelphia Eagles 19. Jeremy, I will let this be your therapeutic moment of talking about your pain and your loss. And most of the rest of the NFL fans win. I think, from what I've seen.
Noticed it was a Super Bowl for everyone else, which I don't know how I feel. I guess I like it in some ways, and then it's like, wow, everybody really just hates us outside of this. Outside the city limits and the surrounding area of Philadelphia, PA too. But sad, obviously. I think I think they were a pretty talented team overall. They had some issues. They had the experience, which a lot of teams in the NFC, AFC 2 didn't have in this playoff run. So I thought that would really help them prevail. Push comes to shove. It didn't. It stinks that they lost to a San Francisco team that is just not good. And I don't mean that to insult them. They're just injured, and they're not good. They have guys. They have Eric Hendricks coming off the practice squad streets. They have
and playing well.
Kaiser White, who made play. It's it's embarrassing, but they lose Kittle with a few minutes left in the second quarter. They're scheming Kyle Juszczyk open. From the slot, they're getting DeMarcus Robinson the ball, who I'll be on the record too, Sean. I've always loved DeMarcus Robinson. It feels like 2026. I don't think that he should be doing much anymore, and yet he did. Kittle gets hurt, crazy, awful injury. That sucks too. I hope.
Yeah.
I know he's slow. I know he slowed down a bit this year, but geez, Achilles. I don't want to say that he'd think about
He's been injured
retiring,
all year
but
too,
like,
though.
yeah,
I don't think so.
it's
He said
tough.
he'll be back.
It's such a tough injury, but we'll see. Good guy. Hopefully he bounces back. They didn't have Ayuk all year, obviously, for those issues. This isn't the same San Francisco team. McCaffrey wasn't like amazing this year. I know he scored touchdowns, but he just wasn't amazing rushing the ball.
I mean,
Great,
the 1,000
great catching.
scrimmage yards.
Great catching. The 900 yards receiving is awesome. Just shows how bad though that their playmakers are for San Francisco. Purdy, good quarterback for sure. The Eagles didn't get to him on defense. It's a mixture of everything with this team this day. The offense was awful. Petula was bad. Jalen didn't make any special plays. His ball placement was also just really poor throughout the entire game. He didn't run the ball, which is you got to run the ball, Jalen. You're a running quarterback. You got to run the football. Saquon looked good. That was a pretty good game for him. They just needed him to break one during this time, especially towards the end of the game. Like, he just needs to break one. He just needs to get to the second level. Didn't happen. Offensive line, they played well with the run today. They weren't great. During the year, they just weren't great. Pass protection, they were great. They just weren't good at running the ball. AJ had a few drops, not good.
Big Dom had a big catch.
Big dominant catch. Used his body though. He's not a hands guy, which is I wish he were more a hands guy. But yeah, offense just didn't do. They're not going to. The offense just doesn't score touchdowns. Defense was bad too. It stinks because the defense was amazing this year, but they were truly awful in the game. Yeah, they held them to 23 points. They still should have won with how the defense played, but they just overran plays from the start. They consistently overran plays. Epps was always overrunning a play. Even Zach Baum was overrunning some stuff. It was very weird. And they couldn't, when San Francisco needed touchdowns, they scored touchdowns, and the Eagles couldn't get stops even on third down. Sad. Just sad. Sad.
So you
I don't
didn't
know.
go to the game, though, right?
I did not, no.
From home.
I watched this in the comforts and confines of home, yes.
Yeah, were you with fellow Eagles fan? What was
yeah, I was with family, actually.
What was the vibe?
My uncle was in town from LA, so we watched as a family. And it helped. I mean, I guess it helps too. When you're coming off a Super Bowl, you kind of put things in perspective. I've always said, so the Eagles won in 18, February 18. They won February 25 last year. I've always said if this team wins a Super Bowl every 7 years, sign me up. That's great. It still hurts when you feel like your team should have gone a lot further and had the talent to do so. So vibes kind of stunk, but you got to put everything in perspective. Just stinks that seems like a lost opportunity with this team.
Yeah, I thought every 7 years sometimes you take it for granted. Like with the Giants, definitely. I was young and right in my start to really comprehend years when the Giants win their first Super Bowl while I was alive. Obviously, it was their third Super Bowl. First Super Bowl when I was in sixth grade, and my brother was graduating eighth grade, and then the second one I was a sophomore in high school, and my brother was graduating. He was a senior. He was in a grad. So I thought every time that my brother graduated. Every time my brother graduated from a school, that we'd be winning the Super Bowl. But then when he graduated college, nothing. Got his master's, nothing. So, I don't know. That theory was debunked. Well, I thought it was a good...
that's the thing. I'm just happy every 7 years that would be great. You had 4, too. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, man. I took it for granted.
We all do. It's the high. When you win, it's just the high that you have for the next several months. It really is. You feel like you're untouchable, and obviously, you have to come to reality and realize that it's really hard to win in the NFL. But this early against this San Francisco team at home, oh my God!
I mean, you guys have history. You guys have history. Obviously, that Super Bowl that you went to against the Chiefs, in 2022.
Right.
That was like, and that 49ers team was angry. They were pissed, And then they went back and, no, they didn't beat you the next year in the playoffs.
Yeah, regular season, they came back to Philly and smacked us, yeah.
Yeah. They were pissed, dude. They had Josh Johnson and Brock
and
Purdy.
They went to the Super Bowl that year, too. Yeah.
Yes. And then lost to the Chiefs.
Yes.
But, hey, Chiefs aren't in it, man. I'll tell you what. This is like a very fun
open
playoff run.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to get off the Eagles too soon. I mean, let's just talk about it. Quinyon Mitchell, All-Pro, played awesome. I mean, he looks awesome. Cooper DeJean looks great too.
Yeah.
Your other first-team All-Pro, your two second-year player All-Pro corners, dude. It's just, I know we were talking before. It's like it still blows my mind that you guys were able to draft those guys.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting when they have to pay them next offseason.
Yeah.
So. But, yeah, I mean, it's a great problem to have, ultimately. It's crazy that Cooper fell so far. It's crazy that Quinyon fell far, too, where he was.
Yeah.
It just sucks for this team. Last year it worked out well where they had Darius Slay on the other side, and he played at such a decently high level for what it was worth. And then you put a Dory Jackson in, and he just he had like a month where he was playing decently, but just, I mean, you've seen it, Sean. And now he's older. Now he's 29. He just wasn't good enough. Not fast enough. Gave too much space and coverage from the snap. You just need this team. It's wild that they have two All-Pro corners, but they need a third, not necessarily All-Pro. They need a third on the other side who's very, very good too. Tough.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's great to be deep in the secondary.
Yeah.
Obviously you guys are like the highest paid offense.
Yep.
I saw Jason Kelsey say that. He's like, hey, I know Kevin Patula. Kevin Patula is a great coach. He was having a great year. Definitely did not have a great. I mean, we've been hearing it all year. But I thought, I don't know if you saw Dan Orlovsky was breaking down the game. And he said on that final drive of the Eagles, every play that you guys ran was a play that you already previously ran in the game, and some of them you repeated just in that same drive.
Yes.
That's how lack of creativity you guys had. And meanwhile, Juwan Jennings is throwing touchdowns and breaking all-time records for passer rating and passing touchdowns by a Tennessee Vol in the playoffs and all this stuff. But yeah,
he was. You could say he was the second best quarterback on the field on Sunday.
You could definitely say that.
And I'm not saying who was the first or third, but you can probably infer what I mean.
Hey, higher rated quarterback coming into college than Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow.
Jennings was
probably Jalen Hurts. Yeah,
interesting. He definitely has an arm. You can see. You can see that he has a background in quarterbacking for sure. Yeah, it's. I forget what I was going to say. The offense isn't that complex. There aren't many plays. That is true. There are a few plays that work really well. They just they needed more of those plays throughout the year in different plays. So, yeah, it's good riddance. I would be shocked if Patula was back. I assume he'll be fired within the next day or so. I don't know how they'll do it, but I will say too, it's deeper than Patula. This team, not personnel necessarily, but performance-wise. They dropped the ball all year. They sucked it every time. They had so many bad penalties, and then people go, "That's a coaching if this keeps on happening." And then I honestly go, maybe, but some of these guys are also so blankety blank stupid that maybe these coaches are definitely telling them technique and where to put your hands. And if they keep on holding, it's not necessarily just the coaching at a certain point. These players are just stupid. So I don't know.
Tush push looked good though.
The tush push looked good. They got good. Result wise, it worked well. The actual push wise, it looked like they were getting more push than ever before. So yeah, we'll see.
It makes me think.
Yes.
Do you think, because you guys really struggled with the tush push during the regular season?
Yes.
It's almost like you guys wanted to show how imperfect it was, and then when it really counted, you guys put it all together so that way they won't ban it in the offseason.
I was thinking that. I was thinking they were trying to sandbag so they would take a dive this year and then it wouldn't get on the voting table this year. Then they'd be off and running next year and then do the same thing every off year. But, yeah, they need an offense that's better than just a tush push. And hopefully they need to get away. Ultimately, they go on vacation, have a few tequila sunrises or whatever, and get your body right, get the surgeries you have to, and try to regroup.
Yeah. So speaking, now it's already. I feel like you're already there. You're already. The season's over for you. Like you're not like lingering. They're not like, oh, if only. Like it's done for you. It's like.
Yeah.
The regrets. It's over.
They had a path to win the Super Bowl. They could have won the Super Bowl this year, even at this point. And there are also reasons why you can see how they are in the position that they are right now. So, just have to live with reality in that case. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a point when Saquon was performing so well. Like I don't know. I think it was his first run. He just took off for 20 yards or something like that. It was early in the game where I'm like, great, Saquon's finally coming to life. This Eagles team is going to go all the way, because the Rams don't look perfect with what they're doing against
they look
way
bad.
that they performed against the Panthers. You can argue the Panthers also played really well. Like the Panthers punched above the belt, and the Rams kind of punched below the belt. But ultimately, it all worked out. Matt Stafford looked like he was banged up all game. And then, obviously the Seahawks, I think, are still my favorite. I believe I said on the last episode, I think Patriots, Seahawks are my two teams that I think are going to go all the way. And I still feel that way.
Yeah.
I still feel that way. I was thinking maybe the Texans because of that defense, but C.J. Stroud, I know the Steelers have a good defense too, but C.J. Stroud was just turning over the ball left and right, just trying to make things happen. He didn't need to,
Yep.
But I don't know. I thought that there was a path for the Eagles. I know that they're like you said. I think because you had the Super Bowl, because the offense has been struggling all year, you guys didn't have it in your heads this is another year that's in a better year. But obviously, you make it to the playoffs. You have the talent that you have on your team.
Yep, definitely.
There's still always a chance. I mean,
especially with the board and it was just so open, and obviously they weren't good enough, so that speaks for itself. But this year, especially looking at the teams in the playoffs, no disrespect, but it's just open. There's just no juggernauts really. And when you apply that, you look at the Eagles. If there are no juggernauts, I'll take the team that just won the Super Bowl last year, that returned most of their team, etc. So, yeah, reasons for both, for winning and losing with this team, and unfortunately they lost early.
Yeah, so I guess we'll stick around with the Eagles, and we'll talk future-wise. Lane Johnson obviously didn't play. Fred Johnson played the entire game, did he not?
Yes.
What's going on with Lane?
Lane had swelling in his foot the day before, and then when I heard that, I thought, I don't think he's going to play. So he'll have to get surgery in the offseason, and he'll probably get that soon, and should be good enough to go for next year. But that hurt. It was a shame because Fred Johnson played a lot last year, and for Mailata, and he did a really good job. And this year he was okay-ish, but he just didn't play that well overall. And on Sunday he was awful. So, yeah.
Seeing a Johnson replace a Johnson, you think, seamless, but not always the case, man. It's not always a Johnson and Johnson. Even give me 1 second.
Not always. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but so how do you feel moving forward? Obviously, you think Kevin Petula's out. He could be fired at any point.
Right.
But Nick Sirianni, man. Nick Sirianni, obviously you guys aren't going to fire him a year after the Super Bowl.
Correct.
But do you want to? If you had an out?
No, I think Nick's a pretty good coach. I think it's unfortunate that they And I had issue with it at the time when they brought in Patullo. I thought it would be better, but again, first time play callers right after you win the Super Bowl. I just don't love it. I do like Nick, though. I think that he's a good CEO kind of head coach. He rallies the troop. He's a great motivator. They like him a lot. They respond to him. And he wins football games. If you look at his resume, his brief, short resume, it is so wildly impressive. Just have to get someone who calls a good offense to help him out there. But I still like Nick. 2 Super Bowls, won 1, and made the playoffs every year he's coached, 5 in a row, which is pretty impressive too. And he just wins. They connect with him, but he isn't good at calling offenses, so he needs a really special offensive coordinator. Is that Dable? Is that somebody? Maybe, but it has to be someone who's not a first timer. Like, I don't know. It's tough because this team also just loses their coordinators every year, Sean. If they do well, they're gone. If they do poorly, they're gone. So it's it stinks that they couldn't retain Kellen Moore for another year, of course. And he did such a great job in New Orleans this year. Oh my God! But
yeah, dude. Brought it
holy
together
smokes!
With Tyler Shuck, man.
Yeah,
Shuckster.
Yeah, the Shuckster. He looked good. We'll see. Second.
Who I liked, man. I remember I was a Tyler Shuck. Well, I thought that we could get him in like the 3rd round. He ultimately went in the 2nd round. I was like, maybe Tyler Shuck in the 3rd. That way you don't have to reach on Jackson Dart. But hey, I'm happy with the reach on Jackson Dart. I feel good about that. And
I thought Shuck stunk, and he kind of did in college. And he's been, I mean, it was what a year. Yeah, but it just sucked that they had to lose Kellen Moore late in the process too. So they didn't have many options. So promoting Patullo made sense. Yeah. Kind of a downside winning the Super Bowl, I guess, in that way. But just gotta find an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think that's like the tough thing, and that's one of the reasons why the Giants are so high on John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And so am I. I'm very high on him, but like, there's a reason why Ravens fans are like, good riddance. Like, finally he's out. Like, because he did live and die by his coordinators, and this year's defensive coordinator kind of sucked. The Ravens defense sucked, which was like out of the ordinary for them, and like our defense was underperforming. So like, hopefully, and I think there's going to be a lot of due diligence. The Giants' job is highly coveted, I believe. I mean, even with the new openings, I think the only other job that's really highly coveted would be the Ravens. And I don't think we have like the same.
You're lucky. I think if the Bills lost to the Jaguars, McDermott would have been gone. And then I think Harbaugh slips in there. We'll see what happens with the Steelers. I don't think they'll fire Tomlin, but
I don't think so. I was just looking just to do
that's just not their repertoire.
Although 7 straight losses, longest playoff loss streak for the Steelers. So I mean, I can see why the fans want him gone. But,
totally. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying?
No, I've warmed. I didn't like the idea of Harbaugh to the Giants at first. I think I've warmed to the idea a little bit. It's just tough because I think Harbaugh, his teams in Baltimore were so loaded, and I think that I don't know if he will coach a bad team to be good or a bad team to be really good or a mid team to be really good. I think he needs a lot of talent. I don't know if his coach, again, he's another kind of CEO coach. Yeah. We'll see, though. He has the experience. He won a Super Bowl a long, long time ago. He won a lot of regular season games, though, for the last decade. So the idea's not bad, for sure, for New York.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so he's already – I mean, we don't have to go straight into this. We could talk Eagles coordinators. Who is your – because we're assuming Patullo's out. Vic Fangio's going to stay. I haven't seen any rumors about him going elsewhere. Like, he's a Philly guy. He likes being – he doesn't need a head coaching job.
Oh, I don't think he'd want to be a head coach. I think for him it would be up to if he retires. And I don't think it's yet, but it could be soon.
I heard about that meatball of the week thing, dude. Have you?
Yes.
How, like, he gifts a player every week the meatball, and
apparently
players don't share it.
Yeah, apparently that's the case. But you can't get a meatball if if you were a defensive player of the week after the game that week.
Yeah.
So he gives it to another player who was defensive, I guess. And yeah, they don't cheer the meatball. Yeah, listen, it's Sirianni.
That's cool, dude.
Italian representation with this team is, Sirianni, Big Dom, and Vic Fangio. So a little tradition that's kind of funny.
No, I like that, man. It's okay. So coordinator-wise, Petula's probably gone. Who are you eyeing? I feel like we talked about this. Who's your short list? I mean, obviously, Petula's not gone. There's other coaches that are floating around. Who's your short list? If you had to give me 3 OCs that you think
3 OCs, that's good. Tough. I don't know. Mike McDaniel's probably number 1 for me. I don't think he'd get a head coaching job yet. I think he'd have to be an OC. He would be the creme de la creme. He's, in terms of his offenses, he's done a lot of great things in Miami as a head coach. Bad, but it's a lot easier to be an OC than a head coach, like we've seen, of course. Yeah. So McDaniel would be 1 for me. Oh, sheesh. Tough to do 3. I like, I guess Dable would be, I don't know if he'd be my number 2. I like the idea of Brian Dable. He has a lot of familiarity with Jalen Hurts, with Sirianni too. Again, as an offensive coach, pretty solid. As a head coach, we'll see. I don't love Todd Monken because he was Baltimore, and apparently Baltimore didn't like him, and Harbaugh dying on his hill. So I guess the 3rd, I don't think Cliff would work here. I like the guy, Nathan Scheelhaas with the Rams. I think he is the QB coach possibly with the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are 3. I think I'm missing somebody. I know I'm missing someone.
Webb? Are you talking Webb?
I like Webb. I don't know if he'd be in my top 3, but the idea of Davis Webb doesn't is intriguing for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. Former Giants 3rd round pick.
Yep.
During the Eli Manning days. I was telling you about, Webb, when Davis Webb was drafted, I was at that draft. That was a draft in Philadelphia.
Yes.
He was drafted. And then when I was coming down to Nashville for my road trip the year before my senior year, we were in Virginia. We have no service. We're looking for our campground, but we lost our GPS maps. We find this, I think it was like a 1902. It says like Webb's convenience store. 1902 is in the middle of Virginia. The gas station worker, convenience store, whatever it was. I mean, I don't even know if that thing actually pumped gas. Like I said, it was like 1902. It could have been in the 1800s. The guy had no teeth, and he was just whistling through his. We're like, hey, where can we don't have service. Like, well, where's the campground? He's like, there, go down that creek. You got a whistling creek right to the left. You got to go.
I don't know. Too.
Yeah, but and then, we finally found the campground, and because it said Webb's on that, and maybe we had a couple of campground substances, but I had this vision. I was like, Davis Webb will be the savior of the New York Football Giants, and I thought it was going to be that year. I thought maybe Eli leads us to the playoffs. That was coming off the year where the Giants were actually good too. That's their playoff loss to the Packers. So I thought, next year Eli's going to lead us to the playoffs. Oh, no, he gets hurt. Davis Webb comes to save us. Maybe I was just a little too early, just like I was too early with Brian Burns having 17 sacks, 16 sacks, whatever. Right. I was a year early on that. Maybe I was like, I don't know, 9 years too early on the Davis Webb train. But maybe he comes to be the Giants OC, too, and saves us. Or becomes the Eagles DC and destroys, or OC and destroys you.
Would be nice.
Maybe Webb will be our savior.
I'd add 2, I guess, Cliff Kingsbury. I think I named, but I don't know if it would work here ultimately. But I like Cliff. Cliff did as a coordinator, as an assistant coach. Cliff's always done a good job. It's been the head coaching that's been tough for him. But yeah, trying to look through, trying to think a little bit. Maybe Clay Kubiak. I don't know.
I don't think he would go laterally, especially if they make a deep run.
I agree.
I feel like he's head coach, and the Giants, I believe, have now. I either interviewed him or you're going to interview Cliff.
I
I think
would
they
bet.
actually had a Zoom.
I would assume he'd be a head coach.
Yeah.
Things can happen, but yeah.
I think seeing what Ben Johnson did too, where he waited a year, and obviously, like if he went to that Commanders team, I think he would have been special with the Commanders too. But
Yeah,
waiting a year for the job he wanted, yeah, I think that could be for like Clint, and even Chris Shula, who like is a hot name. And honestly, I've kind of cooled off of him in a little bit. Like the defense for the Rams hasn't looked as amazing as it did in the beginning of the year. You know, like the Falcons put up points on him, the Panthers just put up a bunch of points on him. You know, I think he will be a good coach.
That's a good point about Clint too. If Brian Johnson can wait a year, even though he shouldn't have, that is bullshit, and he should have taken the Washington job from the start. If he can do that, Kubiak could do that too in San Francisco. So yeah.
I mean, I think so. I think so as well. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think the Giants. I actually, I have one more question for the Eagles. Is AJ Brown sticking around? I feel like you knew this was coming. Like, how do you feel about AJ? Obviously, he's still under contract, right? Like, he's not.
Oh yeah. They'd have to trade him post June 1, in order to save some kind of cap. Even they would still have to eat. It would still go against the cap. It just wouldn't be as much if it's after June 1st. I love AJ. I don't care what people say.
Yeah, I would love him to.
Yeah.
You guys have had divas. I mean,
exactly. It's a position that's diva. He isn't even like the biggest diva either when it comes down to it. I think it probably is this last game, even though I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be tough to.
Because Dallas Goedert's a free agent too, so that's
he is.
You think he's walking, or you think you retain him?
I think I think he priced himself out of Philadelphia. What do he have? 13 touchdowns, including the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Did he have 2 this?
2.
Did he have 2? Yeah.
A receiving.
He had that little shovel pass.
Yes.
Or the
Well, I think it should be. I'd have to watch the play again just to make sure. I think it kind of is, but maybe this was
Yeah, maybe it was a run. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like right underneath.
I think it would be tough to have Goddard walk and then have to trade AJ Brown, especially because this team is just so much better with AJ Brown. Like, everyone's like, "Be gone, AJ." It's like, guys, wake up. AJ's off this team. This team isn't anywhere close as good with him on the team. It's just, I don't know. It might be his last game. I think at the moment you could get a second for him. Can you get a first? It'll be tricky. So I don't know. But
yeah, I don't think there's a player-for-player swap that would happen there.
It would be tough. If there were, New England, I know New England loves him. So if they want to give us Christian Gonzalez, that would.
You guys don't need 3 All-Pro cornerbacks.
We don't need 3, but we need some. I just want something better on the other side than Adoree Jackson. So it would be an embarrassment of riches, and I don't think New England would do that deal either. That wouldn't. No. That would be a lot, I think, for age. Just player for player, it's tough. But you're right. I think it would be tough to do a player for player trade with the money stuff, and we'll see.
Really. I mean, you saw a lot of like player for player trades with draft picks attached, obviously.
Right. Yes, you do player for player, then Cowboys someone gets a 4, someone gets a 5, or they do a swap. Yes.
Yeah. Or you just get AD Mitchell just on the back end.
True. It's tough to do player for player in the NFL because you're kind of someone's going to be better than the other. So it's like if you have to add picks too. But I love AJ. I hope he stays here in Philly, but it could have been his last game. We'll see.
Yeah. Could have been, man.
Best receiver in Eagles history. Got to see the real.
So?
What's that?
Yeah, is that like statistically, or?
I don't know if he's played enough statistically to get the records for like receiving yards, receiving catches, but in terms of talent, absolutely. He definitely helped win the Super Bowl, get to another Super Bowl. And I bet statistically he's getting close to like the up there for limited time here. So Yeah.
I just want to actually look at this. Eagles all-time receiving.
Yeah, that's a good
receiving leaders. Career receiving leaders, let's see. Harold Carmichael, by far. Sean Jackson, that's number 3. Zach Ertz, number 5 still. I mean, A.J. Brown hasn't been... The fact that he's only been there for...
There are a few tight ends on there, which,
He's 9. He's still above Devonta Smith, who's been there, obviously, a year longer. But they're like neck and neck, too, which is crazy because I feel like that's how they statistically produce. Dallas Goedert, if this is the end of Dallas Goedert, man, 14th on the list.
Yeah, he that would stink. He great guy, great player.
Yeah.
He deserves to get paid, though, and I didn't think they were going to be able to retain him last offseason. They did somehow with the 1 year. I think he proved to some teams that needed to see this year that... Because I've always said, I think that for tight ends especially, touchdowns are such a big stat, and he scored the touchdowns this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think like a lot of tight ends, the big body, red zone threat, and like he was phenomenal. Like he was the guy this year.
You can get creative too with him, with at the goal line with the different.
It was a rushing touchdown, by the way.
Yeah,
I looked to see what it was marked as. Yeah,
I think he was the first tight end in NFL history to have a rushing and receiving touchdown in a playoff game, possibly.
I can see that. Yeah.
Which
I mean, I definitely think there's a lot of tight ends that can do it, but yeah.
That's my point. It's like I guess it's kind of cool, but like other teams who have better tight ends aren't going to rush them. Like they'll just like throw for it. But that would stink if he went somewhere else. But I can see it. It's going to be tough for the Eagles to bring it back. With the money, they're going to have to start paying the defense a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other last thoughts on putting an end to this 2025 Philadelphia Eagles season, Jeremy?
Be interesting how they approach free agency and the moving parts. They have a lot of free agents themselves. The window is still open for them, but we've seen in the NFL that windows close quickly. So, ball's in their court, I think, in a good way, but there are going to be a lot of decisions made this offseason that are going to be very impactful, for better or for worse. Hopefully for better.
Hopefully for worse. But I don't know. Let's hope we restart another 25 years of having different division winners. I was just looking this up because I was like, I can't remember the last time the Giants won the division. Do you know the last time the Giants won the division? all this parity. I mean, they are the longest.
They're the longest. Yeah, I know Washington had maybe.
Washington won it the year that
and the Giants didn't. So the Giants didn't win the division. There's 2011 Super Bowl year.
No, 2011 is actually, I believe.
Oh, it is? Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Let's see.
Wow.
That's what I looked up. Yeah.
So they were wild card in 22.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was the Eagles.
Yep.
The Super Bowl year.
Yep.
And the Cowboys. The Cowboys had a higher seed too in the playoffs that year.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how the Eagles yes.
Spanked us twice. Yeah. So, New York Football Giants. I guess because they are my team and I haven't talked about them for the longest time, I think, in podcast history. The head coaching search is on, and it's strong. I think the Giants are still the odds-on favorite to land John Harbaugh. He already interviewed with the Falcons, which was like I think that was just preeminent. I think that the Titans, the more and more I read, and it could all be smoke, but like the Titans are on his radar. The Titans are on his radar, and if you think about it, we discussed it before, like which teams would be, and now it's been the first round of the playoffs is out. I think all the teams that lost, I think they're still holding onto their coaches. I haven't seen anything. I know Matt LaFleur was a big if, but it looks
they're
like
looking. I think they're going to extend him. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks
and
like
I think that
and also,
we said this off screen. If Buffalo lost to the Jaguars round one, I think they kick McDermott to the curb, and that's I think where Harbaugh would. I think Harbaugh was waiting on that game, actually, possibly.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I know he said he was waiting a week because he wanted to bring his daughter to law school or whatever. But I think it was also like, let me see what other
let me see if
openings.
other things open up, so I don't have to waste my time at some of these other places.
Yeah, and I know Mike McDaniel gets fired from the Dolphins. There was like, oh, why do you get fired late? Like, is it because of Harbaugh? Because it happened at post Harbaugh. But the GM that they hired is not the GM that everybody's been looking at, which I think is Chad Alexander, who is an assistant GM over with the Chargers, but he was with the Ravens. I think that's the guy that Harbaugh, if he had his choice of GM, that's who he's looking at. I did see that, like, Joe Schoen, from all the reports, like, he wants Harbaugh more than anything. He knows that his job is on the line. Like, he would be willing to give Harbaugh more control over roster construction and kind of, like, quote-unquote GM responsibilities just to land him. But he also, John Harbaugh met with Chris Mara, I believe. Unless it was Tish. I think it was Chris Mara, like, at his house on Saturday or Sunday. You know, went to visit John Harbaugh at his house to talk to him. So I wonder if, because Joe Schoen wasn't there, I wonder if there was conversations about, like, hey, like, we want you. Is Joe Schoen going to be, like, in the way in getting you, you know? And the fact that nothing's been done with Joe Schoen since then, and maybe they want to retain him just in case John Harbaugh goes elsewhere. Maybe he's safe.
That's interesting. I would think that whichever Mara went there would be doing that.
It was Chris, yeah.
If Chris went there, it would actually be to support Shane and to be an additional layer to recruit Harbaugh. I think that if you're Harbaugh, if you want the New York job badly, but it's because you're not going to take it because Shane's the GM, kind of douchey. I don't know, especially at his age. So I would think that Chris Mara going there would be to reaffirm the Giants' interest as a whole, and not necessarily have to do with Joe Schoen. Could be wrong. Yeah. One of the reasons why I think that I warmed up to the idea of Harbaugh going to the Giants is just because he is the best coach on the market by far, and a surprise that probably one of the best coaches on the market in a while. So that is something that
dream.
Yeah, I guess you really can't offer that stuff if you're the Giants. That's really attractive. I don't love that Harbaugh's sort of not been amazing over the last few years with all the talent he's had, but I get how intriguing he is for the Giants, especially if with a few of the pieces that they already have.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is because prior to Harbaugh shaking free, the Giants said that they want a CEO type. They don't want Brian Dable again, some offensive mind who doesn't know how to run the team, has these childish outbursts, whatever. They want a CEO type. And all the CEO types on the market, like Mike McCarthy, I know that I've poo-pooed him, but like if you do look at his record, like if you do a blind resume, like Mike McCarthy is one of the most winningest coaches definitely on the market. Like, I think actually, aside from Harbaugh.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, and I don't like him. I think he's a goofball. I think that obviously the Cowboys let him go and they didn't make the playoffs this year. But I think there's a lot more than just losing Mike McCarthy there. I thought Brian Schottenheimer actually did a great job with the offense.
Right.
It was more defensive stuff. But yeah, but you see Mike McCarthy and I guess Kevin Stefanski. Obviously, who was the favorite prior to Harbaugh leaving? I think that would be the guy, no matter what. But one of the Harbaugh's strengths is also bringing in great coordinators. And I think Todd Monken, I know that he didn't do great this year, whatever, but Todd Monken did lead Lamar Jackson to his second MVP and was dominant.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not against Todd Monken either if he was a deal with Harbaugh. I don't, he hasn't been hired, so we don't really know what coordinators were on there. Maybe, I mean, everybody wants Mike McDaniel. I don't think he has any ties to Harbaugh, but maybe he sees the Giants as a good opportunity to rebuild. I don't know. Right now, like we have a good list: Jeff Hafley, Chris Shula, Clint Kubiak, Raheem Morris, Mike McCarthy is already interviewed. Antonio Pierce is interviewed.
Right.
Obviously, Kevin Stefanski. And John Harbaugh, I believe, is sometime later this week. So, which I think, because we've already gotten all those other interviews off, when John Harbaugh meets later this week, I think if he's in, I think it's you don't let him out of the building type deal, which I'd be happy with. I would be very happy with. I mean, I don't know. I think when he got fired, the amount of Giants content creators that made videos like we just landed Harbaugh already, like it was just like, this is it. Like the confidence in like us being the number one landing spot.
Right.
And there's been a lot of like Harbaugh. All the speculation is that he really likes it. Like he watched all the tape on the Giants. He watched all the tape on the Titans. I don't know if if the Titans interview is already been scheduled, but I believe he has one with the Titans too. Which the Titans, like, they do have a top pick. You know, they do have a lot of cap space. Cam Ward, I know, didn't perform that well with an awful Titans team, but I mean, it's still intriguing, man.
If he has a vision for Cam Ward, yeah. I can see why he'd be all in on Tennessee, I guess, in that case.
Yeah, I think that I've been sleeping on Tennessee because like it's just the easy thing to do. Just like everybody was like, the Saints suck, and then bam, Saints are the worst team in the league, and then I think a lot of people like to see people for their records or their worst, and you're obviously not watching some of these poor teams. You don't actually know what's going on a lot. A lot of people aren't watching and seeing the development of film. Like Josh Connerly, first half of the season he sucked for the Washington Commanders, so I just had it in my mind, just like a lot of people had with Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas sucked in the beginning of his rookie year, but was great towards the end, and his second year was great, but because of all the stuff that came out in the beginning of that season, his rookie season, people thought he sucked for like 3 years because they just weren't watching, And like Josh Connerly, I was like, I think probably even longer because I wasn't watching his O-line play that much, but he actually ended up having a great rookie year, so turned it around. People get caught up in predispositions and, make early assumptions. Just like I like through the history of this podcast, I've been talking shit about Cordell Flott, and then this year he comes on, and now Flott's my guy. I'm like, we have to sign him over Wan'Dale Robinson, Like things change. But yeah, I mean, I'm not looking at coordinators really. It's really just the head coach, and I think some of these guys have people already attached to them. I think that obviously a lot of head coaches, when they interview for the job, they have plans. It's in their plan to try to sell themselves on their OC. Which, by the way, John Harbaugh, love him. He's definitely the hottest candidate. I think the Giants are in love with him. But I really hope they're taking all these interviews seriously, because if Clint Kubiak is the next Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay.
I agree.
And just because the Giants fan base is pounding on the table for John Harbaugh, I'm not John Harbaugh or bust. Like, if Clint Kubiak blows you away and he has all these game plans and he has a great plan for developing Jackson Dart and keeping his growth and what he wants to do to evolve the offense, and obviously plans on defense, even though he's an offensive mind, like I'm okay with that too. I am very okay with that. I think a lot of people are Harbaugh or bust.
Yeah. And
it's like, yeah, I really wanted Matt Rule. Everybody shit on Nick Sirianni, and even after he was hired, and his stupid first
intro
press
conference.
But look at him now. Been to the Super Bowl twice. Most winningest coach in that hiring search.
Yeah. I think I completely agree. I think that one thing that I think that what I've seen from Giants fans is those who are locked in on Harbaugh. My concern would be you're not going to get his wins. You don't get his Super Bowl from 2012.
No.
Like that was so long. Like, he's done such a good job, but you don't get his past success necessarily now. You sort of have to you're betting on that there is his experience will help you win a Super Bowl because of how experienced is and because of his prior success.
Yeah.
He hasn't really been too successful in recent years, considering how much talent he's had. That's another thing too.
Sure.
The talent doesn't go from Baltimore to New York. New York has to continue to find talent. So we'll see. He's a good name, but I agree. If other guys have better visions, like Kubiak especially, I'd go with them, and I take it I'd take those interviews extremely seriously.
Yeah.
If Harbaugh's a guy and you bring him in, great too. But it's nothing's a given, and I think that
Yeah.
a lot of fans always look at these things and especially with players that go, "Oh, this guy was successful here; they'll be successful here." Not necessarily. We'll see. He's he's been a great coach in the NFL. He's 63, so this is probably his last place he'll be. Very respected in the NFL too.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's why he's taking it seriously, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, 63 I know is old now, but like that was like pretty normal for coaches. I mean, Tom Coughlin was coaching way into there, which Tom Coughlin is, I guess, has also reached out to John Harbaugh. I think a lot of people have. Jeremy Shockey, I just saw, did his video about it. Whatever.
Oh, really?
To the Giants, like everybody's wants Harbaugh. I really hope. I think that he will be like a culture changer. I'd be looking forward. I like the way he handles it. The way that he walked Tyler Loop into the locker room and protected him after he missed that kick, and I respect that. I respect it. And who knows? Maybe we'll have a really good special teams. Maybe we'll actually find a decent kicker. I know that's kind of like Tyler Loop just cost them the playoffs, but like he also was really good all season. And who else is Jake Smelliot, dude, missing kicks too. Right? There's been some bad kicking.
If the Steelers...
by the way, Coral did want to say, sorry, this is just timely. Coral did want to say Brandon McManus sucks.
It hurts. It hurts us Temple alums. He's, I think he's cooked. That's unfortunate. If Mike Tomlin is fired, are you interested in him?
I think you have to be. Yeah. I don't know, because I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was thinking whoever lost that game in the Ravens-Steelers would be the fired coach, and then that would be the guy for the Giants.
Interesting.
I don't know, man. I think I like John Harbaugh more, to be honest.
Okay.
I think I do, and I love Mike Tomlin. I just think the changes that John Harbaugh did, like when he won that Super Bowl, you see that he fired his OC midway through the season. Like he's cutthroat like that. Mike Tomlin, in the meantime, I don't know. First, I don't like the Arthur Smith hire. I hate Arthur Smith as a play caller, and like he's living and dying by him, and designing the offense in that like safe way that Arthur Smith likes to run things. I don't like that, and I don't know if he would follow with him. Yeah, I think I'm still Harbaugh over Tomlin, but I think he would still be my number two because he's just a winning coach. I know that everybody, Steelers fans take it for granted. Like I just said, he has the longest playoff loss streak right now with 7 straight losses with the Steelers, all these early exits, but I'd still take him. I don't know. But Kevin Stefanski too, like I might go Harbaugh, Stefanski. Then
I like Stefanski, yeah.
I heard that he's like soft-spoken and not a CEO type, which like I hate the whole like we're looking for a CEO type. If you know how to coach and you know how to connect to your players, you don't have to be loud-spoken. Loud.
Yeah, I mean the downside.
Brian Dable was like a loudmouth, and look what happened with him.
The downside of being the CEO coach is that they're not good at calling a side of the ball, most likely offense. So it gets complicated then when you need an OC and then the power dynamics, etc. So there are some downsides to it. The Eagles going through it, the positives and the negatives, so they're a good example of it.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's all speculation. Like I see all these people talking nonstop. It's just a bunch of hearsay. And I'm clicking on it too. Like I want to know if there's like one tidbit about John Harbaugh, but it's not going to make a difference. It'll be all said and done when it's said and done. Touching on the other coordinators, I know. Like I said, well, I guess while we were talking about the Giants, Brian Dable is interviewing with the Titans. Tennessee Titans. I would actually love that, being in Nashville.
For head coach?
Seeing Brian Dable. Yeah, for head coach. Which we'll see. I think it's a little early for him getting at more head coach looks. I feel like he's going to probably be an OC somewhere. Hopefully in the NFL. And honestly, dude, if he goes to the Eagles, I would love that. Seeing the hatred between the Bears and the Eagles, or Bears and the Packers, dude, like I do love that heated rivalry.
I
Not,
think that he
not the
would.
show.
Worst job he'd take would be OC in the NFL. I think you
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I don't think he needs to go college.
I guess if there aren't many openings, then maybe it gets a little tough. But yeah,
Yeah. Maybe he goes to Ole Miss and coaches with Joe Judge. It'll just be a whole bunch of Giants head coaches.
Giants rejects.
Yeah.
Who else would? Who else could be a part of that?
Matt Shermer, maybe.
Yeah.
Kafka, I think, just got. Damn, I just saw he got some OC or head coach interview. I'm trying to think. Maybe was he interviewing? No, the Commanders already hired David Blau. What am I saying? Speaking of Commanders, I saw that they were interviewing Denard Wilson. They had a little short list. Denard Wilson was the DC for the Titans. That was the DC that the Giants wanted the most when we fired Wink Martindale. And he was just a linebackers coach, I believe, with the Ravens prior to that. So maybe he would come over to the Giants with Harbaugh. He's a name that I kind of like for DC. I did see the Cowboys are interviewing Jonathan Gannon for DC too. So
go for it.
I know, we'll see. Yeah, take it. Just take all these, field defensive head coaches and see what sticks. I don't know, man. The Cardinals' defense wasn't impressive whatsoever. Obviously, they didn't have that many pieces, but yeah, that's about it, man. It's about it. It's all speculation. We'll know when we know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there? I guess we can end it. You got any draft targets that you're looking for?
I've been fortunate where I don't have to look at that too early, and maybe I should have to look at that going forward. I'm not sure. I'll try to give you positions, I guess. Maybe receiver with the AJ thing, but I think that's kind of like, it kind of reminds you, it's not the same as Tennessee when we traded for AJ Brown and then they took a receiver, but it's like you trade a receiver to draft a receiver, kind of sucks in my opinion. Tackle would be interesting, but I think that they could still get another year out of Lane. Cornerback would be interesting. Someone to get to the quarterback on the edge would be interesting.
Yeah, I feel like you guys need another big-time edge rusher.
It would be nice.
Although Jalen Phillips, do you think you're going to extend him, or
I don't know. I think they would, but market will dictate that. You know what I mean?
If you had to pick, though, where you dedicated your money, Jalen Phillips or Dallas Goedert, where would you want to put that money?
I think Phillips probably.
Yeah,
I think that would be better. You trade a third for him, which I don't even think is that big of a deal. Like, you had to make the trade at the time. It's fine. So if you don't re-sign him, it's not the end of the world. I would still do Phillips, though. I think you could get maybe similar production from another tight end. Not necessarily at the level of Goddard, but similar. At a cheaper price, too. So.
Yeah. With the injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think Giants, I know it might seem luxurious to get another wide receiver, but I think Wan'Dale's going to walk.
Mm-hmm.
I already said Carnell Tate's my guy. I think he is, especially with Malik Neighbors maybe not being healthy week 1.
Yeah.
If we lose Wan'Dale, too, it's going to be no bueno.
Yeah.
So,
it's tough.
Listen, replacing a short king with Carnell Tate, who has amazing hands and is a little taller and can be moved all around. Ohio State loves pumping out amazing wide receivers. So
yes, they've been known for 1 or 2 or 20 of them.
Yeah.
What pick did you take Neighbors with?
6.
And you have the 5th pick this year?
5th pick this year.
Yeah, it's tough. I think it's tough when you have 2 picks like that. Obviously, Neighbors is great. But it's a lot, in my opinion, it's a lot of resources at the same position that early on to do someone at 6 and then someone at 5 at 2 years later. But, it makes a difference when you have 2 good receivers. So, yeah, it can happen. It's anyone else you like at that 5 mark?
I don't know. Just because I see people say, "Oh, that's too early," but if it's a good player, it's a good player, and you don't.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Back. But
yeah.
Peter Woods out of Clemson, I think,
yes.
defensive tackle, second defensive tackle, 2 big Clemson defensive tackles would be awesome. With Dexter Lawrence and Peter Woods would be sick.
Peter Woods has been in college for a minute. I remember when Alabama was recruiting him, and I think it came down to Clemson or Alabama. I really liked him out of high school. Defensive tackle. That's those are good positions to draft early. The better ones in the draft for sure. So I like Peter Woods.
And then Francis Mauigoa out of Miami. But dude, I've seen so many people are so like, I don't know. Nobody can decide which one's the best offensive tackle. You see him going all throughout these mocks too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to reach, dude. Like, we've wasted so many OT picks that like I'm kind of more in the realm of, because we've been burnt so much, like get safe, at least mediocre, maybe above average, like Jermaine Illuminor, retain him. I don't think he's going to cost all the money in the world for a pretty decent, very operable right tackle.
Yep.
And then maybe just invest in, second round, third round, and see if anybody sticks. That's what I think.
I have beef with your boy Jermaine Illuminor, by the way.
Dude, he's one of the most vocal Giants about loving the Giants, even though he's going to be a free agent. Like, I really hope we retain him because, like,
he is loyal,
he's talking
for sure.
So highly about the New York Giants.
He is loyal for sure. And I think, too, like, he owes the Giants credit because they brought him in and he played good football when he was in New York. So it goes both ways. This guy's tweeting about, oh, you can't run Josh Allen injury prone to compare with Jackson Dart. Stop it. They are different players, different body types, and it's just, oh my God, stop it.
Well, also Josh Allen got his ass kicked while he was running it, so it wasn't even the best. Because remember, like, he tweaked his game when he ran in one of those touchdowns. So.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But no, I do think that Jackson Dart, the hate about his running, I mean, it's just been overblown. It's been overblown.
We will
Especially,
see.
like, I remember turning on the Rich Eisen show, and he's like, "Oh, Jackson Dart can't be doing." I'm like, "Did you watch the game?" Because I watched the game, and like when he got pulled into the blue tent, he shouldn't have. It was just a routine QB sneak that you see Justin Herbert running too, not even like these known running quarterbacks. So
yeah,
I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it.
We'll see. More context will help the argument either way. So week 1 next season will give us more to assess with that.
We'll see what Harbaugh thinks. When he takes the reins.
Jim?
John.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, it's so funny because, like, so many people texted me, like, dude, Jim Harbaugh. And I'm like, wait, I'm pretty sure it's John, right? And I have to Google it myself because it's so close, dude. Also, I think John looks younger. He's less stressed, but he's actually the older brother of the two.
I do, too. I've always thought, Maybe when they were both in the NFL the first time when Jim was with the Niners and John was with the Ravens in that Super Bowl, I think maybe I think Jim looked like younger maybe then, but I think
Michigan aged him, dude.
Yeah. I think Michigan aged him.
A lot happened in Michigan.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Rough. Yeah. Michigan aged everybody but Tom Brady.
That's true.
All right. Well, I think that's an episode, Jeremy. Anything else you want to say about your Philadelphia Eagles as we lay them to rest? By the way, I wore this.
Death. Fitting.
Death.
Wow.
Death of the Eagles.
Who is that? Scream underneath?
It's a band microwave. It's just, I think.
I see. Yeah, Death is.
Death is a warm blanket. That's what it says, actually, right?
Oh, there you go. They got under their blanket Sunday night for sure. I don't know. I'm happy about last year. I'm glad last year happened.
Yeah, you can't say Super Bowl winners anymore, and that's why I'm happy as well. But you know what? You can't take it away from you. It'll always be there. And the Giants will always have their 4 Super Bowls, soon to be 5 with John Harbaugh coming up. We will see. And the Giants will actually win the division this upcoming year. That is my prediction. It'll start a new tradition of only repeat winners, and it will only be the Giants for the rest of eternity. And you can quote me here, and when that happens for the rest of eternity, you'll be like, wow, that guy was onto something. Anyways, it's been a great episode. It's been a great season. Luckily, it's over because that means that the Eagles season is over because they were the only ones who really had a chance. But Jeremy, it has been great. Welcome to the beasts of the NFC East. Have a great offseason. Peace.